In this tree ring time demonstration, we are going to go over some common tasks for TimeCard maintenance. Common TimeCard maintenance include creating ad hoc PTO requests on behalf of your employees, approving PTO requests for your employees, missed punches, duplicate and overlapping punches, over 24-hour punches, punches in general, and unknown IDs. You should also see our video on supervisor training. Let's start with creating a PTO request. Let's say you have a scenario where an employee has forgotten to put in for some time off. They could come to you, tell you verbally that they would like some time off this Thursday to go to a wedding, for example. So you would go into time management, and up would come the exceptions, PTO, and timesheet. Click on PTO request, add new PTO request. From the employee, select the employee, and Bob Abbey is going to ask for some time off. Right now we can see all the time off he is currently asked, including approved, denied, and a pending. Well, we're going to add a new request. Bob's decided that he needs an extra day off. So we clicked on the new PTO request button. If it's an all-day day off, you would leave the all-day checked. If it's only a portion of a day, half day, quarter day, then you would want to enter the time that it would start, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever. And you would also indicate the hours that he needs off from that start time. Since we're doing all day, we will pick Thursday, just for one day. We can add a notes, extra time for travel to wedding. We select the bank that it comes from. You can have banks commonly for vacation, sick, volunteer, jury duty, whatever your policies are. We're going to pick vacation. We're going to click generate request. Oh, can't be 0. So we're going to put in Bob works 8-hour days, generates the request. You can see now that we're going to be asking for time off on May 17th, all day, from the vacation bank, 8 hours, and he has 200 hours remaining. Click confirm requests, and it's saved OK, and now Bob will have, there we go, extra time to travel for wedding. Okay, and you can close here. The next one we're going to take a look at is approving PTO requests. Now there's 2 places we can approve PTO requests. The first one is edits PTO requests. Nothing is displaying here. You have to go to the employee's name and get them to list, and then we can see them, and 2 of them are pending, and we could click edit or delete. But the real place to go do this is under time management, PTO requests, and we can see Bob Abbey's time here. Now we have options that we can do here. We can adjust the amount of time to deduct. Maybe Bob entered the wrong time for his job type. Maybe Bob put in the wrong bank. Okay. We can approve it. We can deny it. And if needed, if he asked for more time than he has in the bank, if you have the permissions, you can go in and edit the bank. For either approving or denying, you have a comments box on why you're going to approve or deny that. So we're going to approve Bob's time off for Thursday and have fun, and click accept. That's now moved out of the pending and into the resolved. Now let's move on to missed punches. It's common for employees to punch in the morning or afternoon, but then to perhaps forget to punch in or out for a break or lunch or at the end of the day. So we're going to cover how to handle that. So you would go to edits, time management, up would come the exceptions, go to the timesheet, and you can see all the different missing or incorrect punches. For example, the white ones are work time, green is paid away, purple is awards, blue is non-paid, pink is overlapping time, and brown is an exception or incomplete punch. So for Bob, let's take a look at it on May 2nd here. Bob punched in at 9:10, but he forgot to punch out. So we're going to punch him out. There's two ways you can do this. You can just double click on the field and start entering the time, or you can click over here on the left, click the edit button, and you would have this screen come up. Now, we'll start with this one here. We want to put his time out. He is going to work a 8-hour day, so it is going to be 17:10. And click save. And now his item is missing. It's missing from the outstanding incompletes. It's also possible to add a missed punch. Missed punches can often be for lunch or breaks. For Bob, there's two ways of handling this. If it's a lunch punch, we can do that in the timesheet. Quite simply, we can just click for Bob on the missing lunch, and we could add in the amount of time that he took for lunch. But if you want it to be more precise, for example, we couldn't do breaks here. But if you wanted to be more precise about the time in and out for lunch, we would need to go to Edits and Exceptions, and we would need to add a new punch. Click on Add a New Punch. Bob is there. From the drop-down menu, we can pick a break in, break out, the beginning of shift, the end of shift, and the lunch in and out. So we're going to add a break out punch for the 7th of May. And the time, we shall pick 10 o'clock for coffee, and click save. And now he has a punch. Let's go back here. We'll fix his lunch. He took half an hour for lunch. Add that in. Click save. And now that is fixed for that as well. It's also common that an employee might completely forget to punch in for the day. If that happens, you can't correct for his lunch or any other time, you're going to have to do a new transaction. So here we are in Edit, Time Management, Timesheet for Bob and for the pay period desired. And we're going to add a new transaction. Bob forgot to punch in for today, so we're going to do an in-out transaction. Enter in the pay type, the start date and time, the end date and time is today. Bob is a normal office type employee, so 9 to 5. He takes half an hour for lunch. And you click save. Now Bob has a transaction for today. It's common that an employee may accidentally punch in twice for the same day, causing a duplicate or an overlapping punch. This could happen at the beginning of the shift and then at any break time or lunch time, when instead of selecting the proper break or lunch time, they click a new beginning of day in punch. To find this kind of error, quite simply go to Edits, Time Management, and the Timesheet, and duplicate and overlapping time punches appear in pink. Now Bob's got two punches here, one for 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the other one is from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I know Bob has to work an 8-hour day. I saw Bob in the morning. I saw him in the afternoon. I know this 1300 hour 1 o'clock in the afternoon punch is incorrect. So I simply go in, I click delete, click OK, delete a punch is OK, and then I'm going to click refresh, and the other punch went away. This will refresh the next time you move away from the screen and come back. The over 24-hour errors will display punches over 24 hours in duration. These punches are usually created by editing mistakes, since the tree ring time system will never match two punches that are over 24 hours in duration or exceed the punch match threshold set in the configuration form, which is normally set to 18 hours by default. The punches listed here need to be corrected or deleted because tree ring time does not allow punches to exceed 24 hours. Punches over 24 hours in length occur rarely, but this form should be checked before closing the pay period. To edit for over 24-hour punches, click the Edits tab, Time Management, the Exceptions Show, and if you'll notice, on all of these exceptions, there is a time in and a date in, but no date out or time out. Technically, these have all exceeded 18-hour minimum threshold. In fact, we can see one for today, the day of the demo. Here it is punched in at 0100 hours, and I'm recording this at 22:39. So to fix this problem, to identify if this is a problem, normally you would unclick missed duplicate punches and then select punches within punch threshold. This is actually not displaying any records because it's very difficult to simulate. But what you can do here is that we know that these missed or duplicate punches have all technically exceeded the threshold. So we would need to correct all of these by simply entering in the actual date out and time out. And it should match the date in and then be less than 18 hours if you're using the default threshold. Unknown IDs occur when an employee ID does not exist in the employee details forms. Using the unknown IDs form, the user can choose to delete the time record, correct the ID associated with it, or add that ID as a valid employee. To avoid this type of punch data, validation can be enabled for certain data collection devices, thereby disallowing an unknown employee for punching in, or by notifying an employee that if they entered their ID number incorrectly. To identify and correct unknown ID exceptions, from the Edits tab, select Time Management. The Exceptions page appears. Deselect missed duplicated punches. Select Unknown IDs. Wait a few moments, and you have a whole series of unknown IDs. We see some common reoccurrences here: card ID 0001, 10006, and so on. You would have the options now to delete, edit, and change the card ID, change it to a person that it's supposed to be, or add the employee and start entering their data. And click Save. And then the item would disappear from the unknown IDs form. We hope you found these explanations for this demo useful. If you have any questions, please contact us or check out our other videos on the Tree Ring channel.